Hello everybody, it's Shirley here. I'm going live with part 2 of our spellbook. There'll be another 2 parts to come, I think. Maybe only 1 part. We'll see how we can divide it. So yesterday we took our book or our canvas and we put some texture paste all over it. Then I painted it black. I didn't paint it black on camera. So there's our front and back. That was one of them. Remember I said how well I thought the bricks would come up? They've come up fantastically. And on the other one, we did flowers. So there's a flower on the front and we did some flourishes on the back. So we have been uploading these to YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, you can subscribe to us. I'm very new to YouTube. I'm only doing the absolute basics, but a lot of our customers have asked us to do that as they're not always on Facebook. So hopefully that helps a few of you out. Now I'm going to turn the camera around and do a little bit more talking. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Marion. I haven't got my handy sister here today to help me. So let's see how I go. Here we are. So we're going to rest our camera here. So the original class I did was with a lovely lady called Anna Dabrowski from Finnabear, and we did this on a canvas. So this is the canvas that we made. So the techniques we're doing today can be done on a bigger project if you want to. So everything we did today, or we've done yesterday and today and the next day. So we've actually used flowers. We've used a larger resin piece than what we're using today. I just used the castle today, which is a smaller resin piece. We have used the cogs and we've used the numbers. So as you can see, if you want to, you can combine everything into one large canvas. But we are doing it on a smaller project. So I'm going to do both of them. What we're going to do is arrange our pieces, what I call our hero piece, in the bottom corner. First step first, we are going to be working with gel medium. So have yourself a glass of water handy. When you finish with your brush, if you don't put it in the water, the gel medium will dry on the brush and you will throw your brush in the bin within a couple of minutes. Gel medium is such a strong glue. It wasn't originally designed as a glue, but it's been discovered that it makes such a strong glue. That's why we're using it on our books. But it will dry on your paintbrush in minutes. So first of all, we are going to take our resin piece and we're just going to sit it there. The thing being, when you sit it there, you're not going to be able to tuck very much underneath it. So I just chopped up a little piece off a cardboard box, absolutely nothing fancy at all. And we're going to pick up, and I use a lot of glue. I figure, because this is going to dry overnight, I would rather use way too much glue and have it not fall apart than try to skimp on my glue and have it fall apart on me. So all I'm doing is absolutely going to town and putting heaps of the gel medium or whatever strong glue you have at home. Hello, Karen. Can't wait to see you again. Hello, Suzanne. She's watching from home. I'll bring up chockies later, Suzanne. So there we are. We are just gluing what I call our hero piece into place. You can go high, you can go low. It's entirely up to you. And I just realized I've messed up already. That is so typically me. So because it's still wet, we can lift our hero piece off. First step that I'm going to do, here's the book that we're making. See all these lovely bits of texture all over the place? We are going to put these down. All that is some ribbon. If you don't have ribbon, the class that I did, we had a piece of canvas and we tore it up. So if you have a piece of canvas you could tear up, or if you have a pair of old denim jeans you could tear up. If you have some long textured chipboard strips. Now, because this is all going to get painted black again at the end, I go to town with the glue. As I mentioned earlier, just use insane amounts of glue and that way nothing comes off. Now, the interesting thing is I hate getting glue on my hands. See, I'm not measuring, I'm not placing, I am just popping this down. Doesn't matter where it sits, it's going to work, so don't stress. I'm just having a quick look to see if there's any comments. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. She's popped the link on there for anybody who would like gel medium. This particular one is by Atelier. There's another one we've sold by Oh, I can't even pronounce it. That's another great one. They make Kindy Glitz and everything. And with the gel medium, we've discovered if you go the gloss gel medium, it dries clear. Doesn't matter for what we're doing today, because if it does dry white, we're going to paint over it anyway. But if you use your gloss gel medium and it dries clear, that way if you do need to stick something a bit later, see, I'm not even measuring where I'm sticking it. I'm just sticking it wherever so I can get a bit of texture. And I want another little bit up there because I can. So I've got my scissors handy. I've got my little bit of ribbon off to the side, which you can't see. There we are, a little bit more glue up there. And I'm just going to make it go sideways across there because I can. And see all this extra texture, extra glue, turn it into texture. Just by yesterday when we did part 1, we showed everybody doing the little tappy bit. Now we can go back to our hero art piece. Bit more glue on there, doesn't hurt. I'd rather have it stick well. Now it can stick down, and I'm going to have it a little bit off to the side there. Nope, I'm going to have it off to this side, I've decided, because I want some cogs to go down there. Purely personal choice. Do not agonize over where you put something. While it's still wet, you can move it around, but if you agonize, you'll spend 3 hours trying to organize it. This is meant to be fun. You cannot fail, because wherever you stick it will look good. Okay, so now we are going to stick some cogs on there. I have a packet of cogs here. You can use all of them. You can use none of them if you have something else you would rather stick on there. You could use chipboard cogs. I'm using these metal cogs. I just love the steampunk look to them. Hello, Kate. How are you? If you've got a die, especially the old-fashioned steel rule dies, there's quite a few of those around that would cut out cogs. They would work really, really well. So now it's just a matter of, I'm going to pile the glue on. Now, I'm going to tuck this into my castle. So I'm only going to pile the glue onto this side. The main reason being, see how it comes through like what do you call Rosetta? Doesn't matter if it does, but I would like my little bits there to remain hollow, so when I paint them, I get that cool cog look to it. So I'm going to pick this one up here. So again, I'm going to put the majority of my glue on the inside that's going to go under my castle. Hello, Jackie. So there we are. He's going under my castle. For anybody who's just joined us, this will be going up onto YouTube later on this afternoon, so you'll be able to go and watch us on YouTube. So on my original one, I put this little weird wiry bit down low. This one, I'm going to put it up high because I can. So there we are. We have that Rosetta bit coming through the middle, but you know what? I'll just scrape that excess away. And it doesn't matter if it looks weird, because at the end, we are going to go over the entire thing with the black gesso again. So now I want a cog down the bottom because I can. Go and tuck under there, Mr. Cog. There we are. And this weird, I never know if this should go that way up or that way up. On my other one, I had it that way up. So on this one, I'm going to go that way up because I can. And look, we get those really cool Rosetta bits. So I'll tuck it under there. I might even scrape those excess bits out because I don't want those looks on there. If you liked them, you could leave them on there. And this one here, I'm going to tuck a little bit of glue, big bit of glue under there. And then I have my leftover little Celtic cross. I'm going to put him down there and off to the side. Don't agonize over it. Wherever you put it is where it goes. So I'm going to put a bit more glue on him. There he is. He's just going to sit down there, and I'm going to wipe out my, I'm going to dig the brush in a little bit to get out some of that, because if it's completely smooth, we won't get the really cool texture when we paint it black. And then I have, you could put, again, whatever you've got at home, go raid your craft room. I have these metal numbers here. We have these up on the website. There's 10 numbers. I'm going to put 5 on each book. And I'm not even going to think about which number it was. The first one that I picked up was a number 6. That answers my question. Does it matter if the glue sticks through the cogs? No, it doesn't matter if it sticks through. But if you smooth it off evenly, as you can imagine, when you paint it black later, it will be a smooth finish and you won't get that way cool texture. So I'm going to put 6 up there, and I've picked up the 7 because that was the first one that my hand touched. And you know what? I'm going to stick the 7 on the cog because I can. There we are. Everybody's will be different. You can copy this exactly if you want to, and I know what that's like. I usually, when I'm doing a class, I copy what the teacher does exactly. But now I've made about 5 or 6 of these. I'm quite excited about experimenting and making two things look, no two look the same. Okay then, and that's 3 numbers on there. I'm going to stick a number 4 in the bottom corner for no reason other than that was the next one that I picked up. If it was somebody's birthday, you could make them a birthday book and put the 2 numbers together for whatever their birthday is. And I'm going to squish in a number 2 down in this bottom corner here because I can. Oh, hang on, I've got 5 on there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, that's not 5. So here we are. Our number 2 is going to stick down there. And that's it. Now, this is where you get to choose if you want some bling or not. I decided I did. Got to put bling on everything. So these are just some cheapy. You just pick them up in the cheap stores. They're little packets of the most tacky things you've ever seen. But gee, they look good on books. And don't worry about the colour. If you see them on sale, you often see them on sale in the ghastly pinks and greens that nobody wants. Snatch them all up. They are the best colours because you're going to paint them all black. So I've got 1 up there, 1 there. Now, if my nephew were doing this book, he'd be sitting here and he would have bling everywhere. So I'm going to pop 1 down there. Don't worry about where the gel medium goes. Although the fact that I hate getting things on my hands, it's like, oh, my hands are now covered. I'm going to pop 1 in there. And there we have it. We are now going to just sit that aside to dry. When it's dry, we're going to paint the entire thing black. So I'm going to put that aside. And then, because I can, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Just for those at home that want to do a girly type version, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it with the flower. So again, we will take our hero piece and hopefully the bit of cardboard. Yes, there it is. There's my bit of cardboard. I'm going to absolutely slather the gel medium on both sides and pop it in place. But this time, before I stick it down, I remembered ahead of time this time, I'm going to take my bit of string. So this was just a really thick ropey cord. As I mentioned earlier, any form of ropey cord. If you've got an old pair of jeans you want to tear up, you know what would look stunning? A bit of old lace. If you've got an old curtain or an old lacy top that's about to go in the bin, throw it in your craft room. Can you imagine how stunning this would look covered in some lace and then painted? Oh, I want to go and get some lace now. I'm not measuring. I'm not doing anything. I am just randomly chopping these up. These are purely for texture. So I'm going to put my gel medium up here. Now, I do like texture. So before I stick it down, I'm going to do a bit of a... So there's that one there. Not measuring. No, I've done enough classes of all of you to know how many of you agonize over just that right. Where does it stick? But then again, doesn't it feel good not to think? Just whack it down. So there's that one. We'll put enough there. There we are. And now I do want to go, just dig out the gel medium from the edge of my flower, because if I leave it to fill in the grooves, then my flower will just look flat. And I'm going to put another 3rd bit down here because I can. Just wherever you see a bit of blank, put some texture. And I'm going to do a little sideways one down here, and I just spilled gel medium all over the leg of my chair. It wouldn't be alive with me if I didn't make a mess. I gotta say, see how neat my table is? I started to clean a table off to do this live, and then I thought, I'm too lazy, can't be bothered cleaning my table off, so I just set up another table. Eventually the room will be full, and I'll have to clean up eventually. But not this day, as I would say on, what was it, Lord of the Rings, Suzanne and I were quoting earlier. So there we are. We're going to pop our fairy castle on there with lots and lots of... Sorry, I just received a phone call. I had to hang up on it. I hope that didn't interfere with us. Okay, so that one's sitting there. So now this one we're doing with flowers. These come as a pack of flowers, and you get lots and lots of flowers on it. Quite a few big ones and quite a few small ones. Now, these big ones, I mean, you could use it on there if you wanted to, but that's one big flower. So what I did was I pulled it all apart. It wasn't easy. I had to sit there and wriggle and wrestle and wriggle and wrestle, but eventually I pulled it all apart. One of them, the petals came apart on me, but guess what? I'm still going to use it. It doesn't matter if it falls apart. That's the beauty of mixed media. So I'm going to fill those petals up, and I'm going to put a flower right there. So that's two of the petals. That's a third petal, and the beauty of it falling apart is I can actually have those petals a bit wider than if they were all joined together. And I'm going to stick a bling in the middle because I can. So whatever flowers you've got in your craft room, especially if they're a horrible colour and you never thought you'd use them, guess what? Mixed media becomes your best friend, because you can use that flower, because when we paint over it, it doesn't matter. Look at that. I've got a bling in the middle of the flower. That's going to look so fun. Now I'm going to use this tiny little flower, big blob of glue on the back, and I'm going to tuck it in down there, like so. And I think I like it there. Now this one here is really big, way too big. Don't use your good scissors because you're cutting metal. So either wander out to the shed and get yourself a pair of pliers, or use your old scissors that you don't mind blunting, as I just did. Another big blob, and tuck it under the flower, under the castle rather. There you go, and I'll get rid of the excess. Now I need to decide if I want another one on that side. Nope, I'm going to use the other half down the bottom there. So another, you could put it that way or that way. It's up to you which way. This is, Suzanne and I were watching a video yesterday and we agreed with everything the lady said. This is your project and your story. You write the narrative. Don't stress if it doesn't look how you wanted it to, because by the time you finish, it'll look how it's meant to. There we are. So we've got some flowers in there. I think I'm going to leave that space blank for some numbers. There you go. I randomly picked up the number 5 to go in there. I've randomly picked up the number 6. So anybody working at home, you can work alongside me, or you could pause the video to catch up each step. I don't know if that's a 6 or a 9. It's about to become a 9 and get tucked in there. There we are. That works for me. Let's tuck a number 3 in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Let's tuck a number 1 in down there. If you wanted to put more numbers or less numbers, it's up to you. You could use wooden numbers. You could use chipboard numbers. You could use cardstock sticker numbers. Anything in your collection. Go through the drawers of stuff you thought you'd never use. They take on a whole new life for mixed media. There you go. I'm really happy with that layout. And now the fun bit. Look, I've got a square one. I'm going to pop a square one off to the side there for something different. Of course, I want one in the middle there. Let me pick up... Oh, they're all sticking to my fingers because of the glue. And I'm going to pop one there. Hello, Lindy. How are you? We'll have to catch up soon. There we are. over there and like randomly, look, I've got a bit of glue left there, so I'm going to stick it in there. And I want a few more bling in under there just because I can. So, and when they've painted, these will look so pretty. I'm going to randomly throw a few up there because I can. Hello, Christine. I've got your calendar for you. Hopefully see you this weekend. There we are. Oh, I'm happy with that. Now, always put your brush in the water when you're finished, or throw your brush away is the only alternative. So now I'm going to leave those 2 books to dry. There's 1 and there's 2. My next step when they dry will be to paint them completely black again with the black gesso. And then I'll come on and show everybody stage 3. So there we are. That's all there is to it. Whoops. There we are. I think I just went and got some gel medium on my screen. I better go wipe that off quickly. Thank you for watching, and thank you to anybody who's just joined us on YouTube. I'll be uploading this video later on this afternoon, and I'll catch you all soon.